Hello, hello everyone, and welcome back to another 5K tennis discussion. Today is Thursday, January the 9th, 2020, and we have a lot to talk about today, and I just want to get right into it, okay? Because I'm really quite excited about today's show in a way. I don't even know if I have to pump myself up too much, but I will anyway. Let's go. Let's get down. Woo! Let's go. Come on. Get into it. Come on. Yes. Yes.
Chill. Jeez.
Go on, dust your shoulders off. All right, here we go. All right. I had this whole deal written. However, Carla came up with some really interesting stuff. So I'm going to turn the beginning of this show today to Carla. And what this first segment is going to involve is the good old asshole merit badge being now divvied out between three players. We have Sasha Zverev, i.e. the racket smashing, bratty puppy hating, child killer. Look, we got Tsitsipas, the racket blasting, mauling people, ravenous spastic dude, and now
telling French people they're weird.
All the French are weird. That's not my words; those were Tsitsipas's. Thanks to a viewer that mentioned that the other day. I forget who that was, and I should have written that down. But one of the viewers the other day said, "Yeah, I mean, do you remember him, Tsitsipas, calling like the whole French society like weird?" I forgot about that, but I recalled that thanks to he or she. However, now we have Medvedev. Medvedev took the terrible sportsmanship to a whole nother level with Diego Schwartzman, altercations with him, with the judge, beating his chair and everything. So Carla.
I want to say somebody's
on you.
But I think this guy, Paul Sparling, is going to be really happy about this because he says yesterday to us in a comment, he says, "Love you guys, but with all the murders in the world and bombings and stuff, racket smashing is a low on my worry list. What got Tsitsipas there was passion, the thirst to win, hatred of losing, taught to him by his father. If I want to watch an angel type boring people do boring things, then I'd go to church and play Legos."
Yeah.
Wow.
Forget about climate change. Forget about peace on earth. Let's just look at Tsitsipas.
He's like, it's spontaneous drama, not choreographed drama. Tennis needs controversy and colorful personalities. Heroes and villains make for interesting commentaries.
Let's go.
He said, kids, keep smashing those rackets, but be careful.
Let's go.
Well, pretty soon we'll be done with Federer, the king. Nadal, I see him as the knight, and I see Djokovic as a warrior. I'll say Djokovic is a warrior. Here you have three good guys have won many slams, and now we got three brats that are going to take over tennis. We've got Zverev, we've got Tsitsipas, and Medvedev. All three.
Man.
Bad examples for tennis.
Woo.
We're leaving. Three great guys are leaving, and we're getting these three idiots. Just saying.
Yeah, and don't unsubscribe.
Don't
unsubscribe if one of your favorite three players is Medvedev, Tsitsipas, or Zverev, because these guys are really stinking up the place.
They're on a roll.
Yeah.
I don't know which one was worse. I don't know. I think this one's worse because Medvedev was playing against Schwartzman. It was Russia against Argentina, and he was Schwartzman and Medvedev had an exchange of words after he lost his serve. After Medvedev lost his serve, the umpire had to come down, gave him a warning. The exact thing that was given to him was a code violation for exchanging words with Schwartzman. When they crossed paths, you could see Schwartzman. He's this little guy, but he's not going to stay quiet.
He's a fighter.
He's Spanish. He's people, a fighter. They're fiery people.
Caliente.
So are Russians too, but he came down, kind of got in between them, then went back up. Medvedev didn't like it and said, "Why'd you give me a code violation?" And he's explaining to him why, and then we see Medvedev get angry and hit his racket on the umpire's chair. Like twice, like threatening him, like shut up, otherwise I'm gonna beat your
Don't
butt.
do that again. Don't do it again. What? Bam! Hit the. Wait, do you have a video of this?
I do have the video.
Let's check. Look, by the way, our editing skills are whack.
We're gonna learn.
No good. We can figure it out, I guess, somehow, some way. But we have an itty bitty, teeny weeny, itty bitty, super tiny viddy that she's gonna show. So if we can just kind of tone down and put some volume up and just check this tirade out. Absolutely abhorrent.
This one, no, nothing. I didn't give you any warning. I don't have no warning you got. For a sportsman, I call that. Your action was too much. I told you to stop, but you kept doing like this to the team. Stop. You have a warning. Stop.
I can't believe that he even.
That's like threatening. He's like beating the judge's chair.
Yeah, I would have beat his butt if he would have done that to me. And there he goes, walking like the idiot that he is.
So check this out. Maybe if they would have choreographed that a little bit better, the umpire could have just Jimmy Fly snooked it out of his chair and like clubbed him with an arm hook.
Well, this umpire is the umpire that helped out Kyrgios, came down and gave him advice, Mohamed Lahyani.
A good umpire.
A good umpire. So, I mean, I guess he's too scared.
Get back. Boo.
And then Medvedev's excuse said, he says, I think I slept 5 hours in the last 2 days with jet lag. That was his excuse. I mean, they did shake hands. Medvedev did shake the umpire's hand, and he did shake Schwartzman's hand after he beat Schwartzman. But I saw one guy said, what does it take to be defaulted from a match?
So check this out. Zverev is a puppy hater. Tsitsipas rolls his dad on the set. And
it's fine. It's fine.
And it's cool, you know, a shard of graphite rolled up in your elbow.
It's fine.
It's cool though. It's all good, normal around this crib. And then Medvedev's like beating the umpire's chair. Boom, bam.
Let me smack you, Justin, and then let me say, you know what? I didn't sleep last night. I'm sorry, but I didn't sleep last night.
So Federer, Djokovic, Nadal depart, the gentlemen of the world, and here we go. We've got three. I'll spare the language. One more time, but we got really three good guys that are going to take over this world, and they're just going to beat people with their rackets all day long and hate puppies.
Hate puppies.
Gee.
I hate puppies.
Anyway.
Now, I want someone to tell me that was fake news.
Yeah, is that fake news? I mean, we got accused of fake news the other day because Tsitsipas blasted his racket and somehow that didn't happen. I guess that happened. So I had to start the show with it today.
Yeah.
Just a terrible display of sportsmanship. Who needs it? Woogus. Move forward. It is becoming though, as this person that commented here is, what does it take? What does it take now to get disqualified in tennis? This guy's beating, threatening the dude with his racket and beating the chair. I mean, wow. I mean, now Bandy kicks a racket, he gets suspended for 8 weeks, and now we got shards of graphite and napalm. And
they're making McEnroe look like a saint.
Geez, we got shrapnel flying around on tennis courts, and it's just chill. It's good.
Oh,
like, hold up, I need to wear my night suit.
I guess, Paul, you're getting all that drama, action, WWE stuff.
Yeah, the interviewer.
I still can't believe he said that if I want to be boring, I'll play with Legos and go to church.
Look.
Oh, man.
So, you know,
I've never played with Legos, but
here, fast forward 10 years, they come out, you know, the players are, you know, got their headphones on, their racket bags, and the interviewer's like, hey, you know, what will you bring into this competition today against, you know, John Doe or Mary Jane to be successful today? You're like, yeah, I got my flak jacket. I got my flat helmet.
They're making Kyrgios look good.
I'm ready to go. Kyrgios looks like a saint right now.
He looks like a saint right now.
All right, they're prepping him for the #1 in this world spot for sure.
Yes.
Kyrgios is looking good right now. He's a good boy.
What about the other thing that happened just a few days ago?
Oh, with Pablo Cuevas.
That was hilarious.
That was fun.
So what did the umpire tell him?
Told him he wasn't trying hard enough.
He said lack of effort. Warning for lack of effort. So here's how Pablo Cuevas responded.
Yeah, so now take this into consideration. There's always been a rule in the game of tennis where if the player is not performing like a high-level athlete, let's say, that the judge can say, hey, you're not trying. This happened to a couple girls last year. They got fined big time and had to appeal it, right?
Yes.
So Pablo Cuevas was advised that he wasn't trying hard enough. Playing Basilashvili, one of my favorite players on tour now. I like Basilashvili. He's a wonderful player, great sportsmanship. But this was Pablo Cuevas' reaction to the judge telling him he was not trying hard enough. Check it out.
Yeah. So loading. It's loading, so here we go.
Our editing's whack.
Well, that's how it started. We weren't quite sure what that was all about. And then there was this.
He's really trying now.
Maybe once doing that, you could live with, but it's not part of your normal return.
Look at that. Look at him moving his feet.
The umpire called him up on because that
WWE.
He's like, yes.
No.
That was funny.
Tennis is changing. Good guys, and chivalrous knights to assholes and,
wait a minute.
And umpires that create dialect.
Who's the person that created ATP Cup, by the way? You think that maybe he's giving these guys extra money?
I think it had to do with something with the soccer tycoon that had to do. I may be wrong. I'll hush there because I was not prepared that I shot from the hip, which you're not supposed to do. Again, I'm a dumb human being, but I think the person that who are, I think the group that was behind designing the ATP Cup was more soccer business formidable, I guess you could say. I might be wrong. Anyway, all right, that's a wrap on those?
That's a wrap on that.
All right, so first topic that I have real quick is coaching on the sidelines revisited. Since Carl and I have started doing the show, there has not been a time where we have not hammered coaching on the sidelines in the women's game. During the thick of things in the biggest tournaments on the planet, here we go. We got to listen to someone go, yeah, stay positive, pick a pattern, show them your strengths, whatever cheesiness you can come up with. We hit it hard. However, time out on that thought. Standing ovation last night to a duo that I was able to watch last night. The full match, this player lost, who I will mention. But the coaching on the sidelines deserved a standing ovation. A total standing ovation. First and foremost, the player and coach I am going to mention is father-daughter. Just like we were discussing yesterday with B-Dog, if our sibling or son or daughter hit us with a tennis racket, when you're on the court, they're not your son or daughter, they're kind of your players, where I'm getting at. But this is a positive and not a negative, like what happened with Tsitsipas. The positive that I saw yesterday almost jerked a tear from my eye, I can kid you not, but was the absolute wonderful sideline coaching and communication between Coco and Corey Goff. Coco Goff and her father, Corey Goff. So Coco Goff, Corey Goff. The energy was something that I hope that my oldest daughter, we have 5 kids, but our daughters are like at the bottom middle. So my oldest daughter is 10 and the other one is 7 behind that. And the 10-year-old's a good little tennis player. I hope that I have the ability to communicate with my daughter at 15. Remember, Coco Goff is only 15 years of age, as her father did on the sidelines. Not only had genuine great coaching tactics, do this, do that, you're doing good, positive motivation. He knew it was in her bag. In other words, her racket bag. How important are your racket bags and the preparation thereof, Carla? Extremely important, right?
Yes.
She didn't think she had a bar. He knew he had a bar. She got it out. Whatever she was looking for, it was just wonderful. Okay? Standing ovation. I commend Corey Goff's father, and I commend Coco Goff because the way those two paired off was not like only father-daughter, but it was like pupil that respects what's being told in a positive way. Both smiling, even though she lost the match to a tricky Siegemund player from Germany, okay? Let's be real, Coco has a lot more to learn. But
she does have that's why I can't jump on her bandwagon yet. But very respectful player.
A super cute girl,
yeah.
Super happy. I really feel like her soul is one that the world can feel positive to watch. And she's 15, so commendable. And I will be honest, this is the only time since the onset of coaching on the sidelines that I've ever seen something that is worth mentioning in a positive way. And this wasn't just positive; it's beautiful. I wish Coco Goff the best. Real quickly, just to squash the topic on Coco Goff, so we can move forward. The rules for Coco Goff selecting tournaments this year go as this. And I spent some time looking this up. So Coco Goff is 15 years old. She has 3 more tournaments that she can play until she turns 16 by rule. Once she turns 16, the number of tournaments resets and she can play 16 more. So that gives her a total of 19 tournaments that she can play.
That's a lot.
Okay.
That's a good number.
Now remember, 19 tournaments. My question, and we'll talk about it in comments, she has 19 tournaments that she can choose from. Now, forget about her because she's a rare commodity and a really rare talent that has a really good energy with her father and coach. But let's just say it's not her. And let's say it's your child, your student, your brother or sister, or however it works out. But let's say you have a 15-year-old under your care. And you have 19 tournaments throughout the year that you can choose the player to play in. Question number 1, would you book it up with 19? Or would you kind of pick and choose and maybe say, hey, wait a minute, this young growing human being needs time to be educated, needs time to become acclimated with things like cooking, and not that that's a female thing to do. We all need to learn how to prepare a meal for ourselves, right? To get smarter, to intertwine, to learn things that are inherent, the globe, communication outside of tennis per se. So I'm going to tell you what I would do with my 10-year-old daughter that would be 15 soon. 5 years goes by like nothing. Seems like yesterday we just had JPD2, and he's 4. So anyway, time flies. So I'm going to tell you the tournaments that I would pick throughout the year. I looked at the tournament schedule for the WTA, and if this was me putting my daughter, this is what I would choose to do, and you tell me if you agree or disagree. Okay? My thought behind this is that my 15-year-old daughter, I do want her with me. I do want her to be with her brothers and sisters and not just traveling all the time. I do want her to have some foundation at home. I do want her to be educated. Surely there's homeschooling going on there, etc. So I chose to keep the tournament count low because she's 15. Okay? So if it were me, I would put my daughter in the following 12, not 19 max tournaments. I chose Auckland, which Coco Gauff's playing in, and I've always been a fan of that tournament. Beautiful place, beautiful country, lovely climate. You can catch waves there, and there's great white sharks, so you can check those out too, right? Auckland. Next, play the major, the Australian Open, obviously. Shoot her to Dubai, nice climate, get some international PR there, etc. Come back to Indian Wells, which she should play. Miami, which she should play. Granted, those are big events, premieres for the women, so she may not get to the latter round. So I figured throw in Charleston, which is in South Carolina, a smaller event. Maybe she could win, give her some positivity after these bigger tournaments. Slide her into clay in Madrid. Then the French Open, obviously. I've always been a fan of the Nature Valley Grass Tournament in Eastbourne prior to Wimbledon. So get some grass in there, put her into Wimbledon. That's 10. Bring her back for tournament number 11, which she's already agreed to play in, and which I would have mine play in too, which is in the capital of the United States, which is at the City Open in D.C. I know Coco Gauff wants to play here because she is a big fan and supporter of Michelle and Barack Obama. Bravo for that. So what better place to play in front of those that basically have embraced you, and I commend that. Lastly, the U.S. Open to close out the year at 12 and give her the latter part of September, October, November, December for family life, for home, for school, for chilling and getting reset to do it again.
That's a good thing. I would add Rogers Cup in there.
Good, but what would you pull out? Would you pull out?
No, I'd give her that extra one.
So you'd give her a 13.
Rogers Cup, and also, wasn't there a tournament in California?
I said Indian Wells. Don't forget, there's Cincinnati, but I don't think the girls play Cincinnati.
No,
I think they go elsewhere.
They go to Rogers Cup. I'd give her that one, that extra one for the U.S. Open.
So again,
and then honestly, I would put some more small tournaments there. I'd play all of them.
So you would send her on 19.
She was 16. She's gonna be 16. Steffi Graf was playing at 14.
Capriati, Tracy Austin.
Come on. She can do it. Yes. Get the small tournaments in, though, because you want to win those so your points get higher.
And for confidence.
Yeah, I'd do all of them.
You know, you go into every major and you get thumped in the third round, you know.
I would do all of them.
Yeah.
She needs to. She's ready. She's mature.
All right, so your thoughts on that, whether it's 12 tournaments or whether it's 19 tournaments or whether it's 8 tournaments of global travel for a 15-year-old, it's a lot of tennis.
But they did it back in the days. What makes a kid different from before to now? I mean, if you're serious about tennis, you better do it the same way they did it before.
Real quickly, ending this, a couple of flaws that I did notice from a coaching perspective. I know you did as well yesterday, and you can tell that she's 15, Coco Gauff, respectively, in her game, is her wrist flick forehand sometimes. I'm going to pick on my 15-year-old son, Christopher, respectively, good tennis player, solid game. However, a lot of times when he's hitting forehands, when he hits the ball, so picture this, I'll get my Australian Open ball. Here's the ball. I'm coming to hit the ball, coming to hit it. Instead of hitting the ball, pronating, following through, fast racket, bah, he tends to hit and then flop his wrist over and kind of roll it over like this. So instead of going boom, he goes and around. So we call that a dupe or a swat or a slap. We call it just absolutely not looking right? So instead of getting set, boom, bow, or in this sense, Coco Gauff, we watched it a lot of times, hitting, and just flops the wrist over and doesn't follow through. Why is that important? Depth, consistency, power, control. When you're flopping the wrist over in front of you, it's just a young flaw. Surely they're working on that. But otherwise, bravo to the Gauff team.
Yeah, definitely.
Topic number 2 that I have, and this topic kind of stems from the last 2 shows we did. We kind of had some ridiculous, kind of just stupid disagreement with one person out of like 600 people or 500 people that saw the video that assumed that not Roger Federer, but Stefano Tsitsipas didn't really do anything wrong. He's just an immature 21-year-old kid, but actually, I think you made reference that you had your first child at 21.
Yeah, I was pregnant with my first
Anyway,
child at 21.
So my question is, and that has nothing to do with that. We scratched that. My question is this: is it easier for two athletes or two former athletes, two people that have partaken in some type of sport per se that involves going head to head, right? I don't want to say just athletes, because there are some sports out there that aren't necessarily so physical, like chess and stuff, where people compete, right? They battle and they get feisty, head to head. Is it easier for athletes or former athletes to have disagreements with other people and ultimately find it easier to eventually just brush your shoulders off? What's up? Love you even more now. Is it easier for former athletes to get into disagreements with other athletes versus just, John Doe and the other John Doe too on the street? Is it easier for athletes to get over their beef?
Sure they do.
Than it is just a regular person. Sure. And why?
We do. Well, we watch Medvedev and Schwartzman exchange words, but at the end they shook hands. I mean, so yeah, it's possible. We've watched Kyrgios, Nadal, and still in the way they respect each other. Same with Djokovic. We've watched many players go at it, verbally, but they're fine later on. I mean, it's part of sports. We watch it in boxing. We watch it in MMA. Football, basketball, when they fight and they push each other, but, later on they make up for it. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, perfect examples. In boxing, you're slugging it out. You're literally trying to knock the other person out or to out-punch them through X amount of rounds, and, you hug at the end. MMA, football, I was talking football with B-Dog earlier, hence why I busted out the San Francisco 49ers hat. Let's go, Niners, let's get down, let's go. But look at it even, you have had disagreements with Rahesh about Djokovic and Nadal.
But I have had. We get along really great.
Even
we
better.
Respect each other.
Even better. So, look, I have B-Dog, a high-level football coach, former football player. I stopped playing Pee-wee.
He stopped playing Pee-wee, B-Dog. He doesn't know.
Look, he's not scared to come out and say, what? Hold up, bro. Chill, bro. But at the end of the day, you're closer. You're like, what's up? I love this. What? It's like, so to me, I think it's easier that when two athletes get combative, it's just part of what they do, that they've done it their whole life. They don't mean anything by it, but ultimately, I think athletes they understand that it's just what they do. They like to compete. They like to fight in a way, whether it's mentally, physically, whatever. But I think it's easier if I think it's easier for athletes or pro or former high-level athletes to squash things quicker.
Sure. Doesn't
Agree
mean
or
they
disagree?
love each other, but yeah, they do squash it.
Anyway, I just thought about that. Moving forward, I guess I was going to check time.
Did you do the Benchik one?
What Benchik one?
You know how everybody's donating money to Australia?
Oh,
I thought that was hilarious.
I thought that was pretty funny. So, you know how Nick Kyrgios has kind of started this Aces for the bushfires in Australia? Again, much love to all those. And then the 1 billion plus animals I heard have been killed.
I know, I've seen it's horrible.
Really tough deal. So blessings for sure. But I thought it was funny that Nick Kyrgios, not funny, but Nick Kyrgios started this acing and $100 per ace, and a lot of other players jumped on board. Well, Belinda Bencic, love this one, indicated that since she's been double faulting so much, she's going to pay $200
for each double fault.
For each double fault. And she sent a message out to Sasha or Alexander Zverev that because of his double faulting, that he should probably join her on that. So I thought that was pretty good. Hey, courageous.
I mean, he should join it. I mean, it'll make him want to serve better because he doesn't have to dish out 200 every time.
Yeah, especially when
I would do it if I were him.
Especially when Bencic calls you out, like, man, your serve's so rough. You might as well just join me on this. Geez, she's admitting her fault to serve,
yeah,
but
she's
calling him out.
Yeah, might as well.
So I thought that was pretty good. Will you check time for us real quick? Again, sorry for always that, and I can probably edit it out in the middle, but geez, that editing stuff is like way over the grill. Where we
24.
At? All right. Next topic, real quick. It involves Serena Williams. Okay, so Serena Williams last night. By the way, before I set the tone for this. Serena Williams looked really sluggish last night, but I wanted to say that I'm a Serena fan. Okay?
You always have to say.
I have to say that
because other people will be like, "No, you don't like
racist.
Serena."
You're racist.
Yeah.
Look, I'm a Serena fan, and I have been.
Yes, he even had the hots for her, and I used to say, "What?"
Yeah, Carla spent some time when they were very small at the same kind of tennis facility when they were young. Nothing major, obviously, but I'm a Serena fan. Yes, I used to tell Carla I love her, I love you, and she used to get mad at me about it, and I would be like sneaking pictures of her swimsuit, Sports Illustrated shoot, and she'd be like, stop looking at that. So Serena fan, yes, but I'm not a grunting fan. I hate grunting. I hate screeching. Serena has always had a screech or a grunt or a fire,
It's worse now.
every once in a while.
It's worse now.
But her screeching right now, as of last night, I have never had to break out the screech level indicator or our SLI meter, which we bring out for screeching. I've never had to bring it out for Serena Williams. I had to break it out last night for the first time for Serena, and she registered a 9.2134786, beating Caroline Garcia's first register this year of a 9.173 with a repeating. Okay, Garcia was the first time we broke it out this year. Serena passed it.
Come on!
Okay.
I'm like, what is wrong with her?
Okay.
She's like, God! It sounds like she's giving birth to a baby.
Okay. Yeah. It look. Okay. Not only is it a screech, but okay. Let's. Do you want to play a point? Because her opponent, what was it, Mikhail?
Mikhail, yeah.
She wasn't saying anything. Do you want to hit me like a forehand with your left hand? And let's do like 7. Let's do like 8 shots.
Okay.
And you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'll kill it on the 8th shot.
Okay.
Okay. So hit me a ball. And here comes the winner. Give me that short ball. Give me that short ball. Freaking Jean-Claude Van Damme ending on that. Freaking kickboxer. She sounded like a mixture between a ninja, and someone purposely sticking their hand on the hot stove. Then she misses a ball talking about like.
She'd be like this. Like she was about to cry. We're like waiting for her to cry.
She goes from ninja, hot burning stove hand to get that under control. Get that under control. Because I do not want to have to turn down the volume for you as I do with Sharapova, Schiavone, or Azarenka, or
sounded
Garcia.
like I was at the hospital and women that were giving birth, That's what it sounded like.
Alright, we're gonna.
And not only that, she looked rough in that match. How do you let Michaela take you to 3 sets? 3 sets. The girl can't even hit a proper backhand. Her backhand, they showed one shot where she hit her backhand like this. We're like, how do you end your stroke like this?
What she's meaning, I do have an old racket I need to string here. But hand me that wooden one, yeah.
I mean, she hit her backhand and then this is her follow through right there.
She's like chucking it
I'm
under.
like, what is that? And then her forehand is all arm. It's like this.
And she flopped it up.
Yeah,
so
like,
let me see this. So when she's making impact with the ball, let's say the ball's here, she's making impact here. Instead of hitting it and going over the ball, I hit with one hand. I don't really care for the second hand, but so in other words, you're hitting it, you're pronating the hand over to rip the top spin. She hits and like chucks it under.
Yeah.
So instead of rip, she's chucking up. That's kind of odd.
And her
for me.
forehand had no pop to it. I don't know how Serena was struggling.
All right, so I think
she wins 3-6, 6-2, 6-3, but it was a rough match.
It was rough. It was very, very rough,
yes.
I would say. And the ninja hot stove stuff was crazy. All right, that segment's done. Thank goodness. All right, quick shout out to Daniel Evans.
That was a fun match. William Chia was sending us a message. He was up. That was a fun match to watch.
The best lob I've ever seen came in that match from Daniel Evans. Just out of nowhere, it was this wicked, nasty, gnarly lob that was way up and just dropped in a hurry.
But what about those match points Dimanor had and saved them? What's gutsy the way he has a great backhand, by the way. It's a two-handed, but it's great.
Yeah, I've always liked Daniel Evans, one-hander. He slices a lot, but will pull the trigger on the one. However, I like him a lot as I like Kyrgios in a sense because, and I think that Daniel Evans has been through the thick of things even worse than what Kyrgios proclaims in a sense, But Daniel Evans has been through the thick of things, suspended off tour. What is he, like 29 years old?
Unfortunately, they didn't win. They didn't beat Australia.
That's okay.
They teamed up Kyrgios and De Minaur, and they beat Britain in a tight third set. How'd you like the British, the way Tim Henman were?
Oh yeah, so this
they're so proper. They were all like Cheerios.
Yeah, but it was kind of comical because you had the Australian team on this side, which encompassed Leighton Hewitt, De Minaur, Kyrgios, and so forth. And on this side, and then on this side you've got Henman and Murray and in the English group. No
They're
disrespect.
all like.
So the demeanor between the two teams as a whole was totally like night and day. So you have like Henman that had his classical tennis watch on, and he would talk to his players with his hands behind his back, all astute and proud.
Like a knight.
Kind of like Gryffindor.
Oh, nice.
Gryffindor and Harry Potter, right? You look on the other side, you got Hewitt like, rah! you got Kyrgios like.
I felt like I was watching Braveheart against a knight.
Yeah. Anyway, so I thought it was kind of like yin and yang, rice and gravy, whatever.
It was a fun match. They had some amazing points. I mean,
the best match of 2020 so far.
Evans kept coming to the net and putting pressure on De Minaur. De Minaur came with some incredible passing shots. He has an incredible speed, by the way. The way he hits his forehand and backhand. I mean, he's got speed on those strokes and footwork. Really great footwork.
The best match of the ATP Cup so far, in my opinion, the best match of 2020 so far.
Mm-hmm. Went over 3 hours.
Also, Daniel Evans is now career high ranking of 37 in the world.
Good for him.
Let's go. Mm-hmm. I had written in here that I noticed, though, by the way, we made reference to athletes kind of, working things out better than, when, person A and person B just meet on the street and they bump into each other. Usually someone gets, killed or something. Mm-hmm. Usually athletes, though, kind of shake it off. And here's a mention why. Do you remember a year or two ago, or maybe it hasn't been that long, when Bernard Tomic and Nick Kyrgios were just blasting Leighton Hewitt and all of Australian tennis, as a whole. Screw them, we don't need them, bad, right? Yeah. Just tore him up. Kyrgios snapped back, all of Australian tennis did. But here we are yesterday with Kyrgios hugging Hewitt and so forth. Number one, awesome job. Love to see it. Australia is a tennis mecca and always has been. One of my favorite players of all time is Patrick Rafter. We cannot forget about the wonderful Laver. Australia deserves nothing more than having the best tennis. And they will, when that happened with Kyrgios and Hewitt and all of Australia, that was a real mess. I mean, it was kind of shocking and appalling, like Tsitsipas and Medvedev and Zverev. So I was really happy to see Kyrgios embracing Hewitt, and it looked like it was genuine. So that's it. I mean, that's what I wanted to say. Well, what happened to the beef? How did they squash it? Maybe that's something to talk about. Real quickly, a shout out to viewer Tatara, who called us out yesterday for missing the fact that her catch beat TM. That was a big deal, and we spaced on it.
Yeah, I had it on there, and I didn't, and her catch is one of my favorite players. He did beat TM, yes.
So, by the way, Dominic Thiem is adding the former French Open champion Thomas Muster.
Good move.
To his coaching team, along with Nicolas Massou, I think, as co-coach. Good move. Muster is a fighter. Muster
won a French Open.
Muster is a beast. He was one of those that just won one. I think he only just won that one major. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, he had a major.
But I think he won the one major. But Muster was a gnarly human being that you did not want to face on that court because he would just dig deep.
On clay.
Clay, yes. Mm-hmm. Okay, but look at Curtin and so many others. Yeah. Okay. Anyway. I mentioned that. We mentioned Basilashvili and Pablo Cuevas. By the way, I don't know when we were talking about Pablo Cuevas, when he was insinuated that he wasn't trying hard and started acting crazy, we can't forget who he was playing, and that is Basilashvili. And Basilashvili actually stopped Cuevas from walking off the court. Great sportsmanship. So Cuevas was intending to just quit after that. Began to walk off the court. Basilashvili came out and said, "Hey, bro, let's finish this." Good sportsmanship. Brought him back on the court. They finished the match. Obviously, Basilashvili won that, but great sportsmanship. That's that new fridge over there making noise.
Interesting. Well, onto the women's matches. Wozniacki beats Lauren Davis in 3 sets. Tonight, a good match to watch. Anisimova and Bouchard. Mertens goes down to Rybarkova, and Muguruza beats Diaz. The shocker to me was in Brisbane. Kvitova moves on, Carolina Pliskova moves on, Osaka beats Kenin in 3 sets. But to me, was Barty going down to Jennifer Brady.
That one hurt.
Yeah, that I didn't expect.
That one hurt. I do like the fact what Barty basically insinuated after the match. You know, it was tough. She played well, being the good sportsman that she is, but said she wasn't terribly worried about it. And this entire offseason,
Brady, she beat Sharapova, she beats Barty, and now she plays Kvitova.
Yeah, but the Barty thing, I would like to believe that it was a hiccup because I have forecasted Barty to win 2 majors this year. I know that's a lot to ask for in the women's tour when I think the last 10 have been won by different people or something, with the exception of Osaka or something.
Serena, yeah.
Anyway, I hated to see that. Good luck for Barty. I know. Here's a question: do you think either one of these Australian players will win the Australian Open? Nick Kyrgios or Ash Barty?
No.
I think Kyrgios can do it, and I think he would love to do it. I think it's a good time for him to win his first major. And you know what? No, I can't give it over Djokovic. Yeah, no way. If Djokovic wins this one, if in my opinion, if Kyrgios and Djokovic are on opposite sides of the draw, there would be your final. There's a teaser for the tennis racket giveaway, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm thinking as long as Djokovic and Kyrgios are on opposite sides of the draw, I think you'll see those two in the final, and I think I think Djokovic will easily win that final.
All right, well, Djokovic plays Shapovalov tonight. He thinks it's a great match. I don't.
Okay, let's debate that real quick.
I think Djokovic will destroy Shapovalov.
I didn't say I never said that that Djokovic wouldn't destroy Shapovalov. I said it was a good storyline match. Period.
There's
plain and simple. You're watching Medvedev smash rackets, Zverev smash.
We're not going to see Shapovalov do anything. No, that's not going to be that type of match.
But why is it a good storyline? It's a good storyline because here you go. You've got an early season kind of red hot Shapovalov that's done well. Okay, done well. You got Djokovic that's doing well. You got a new tournament, the ATP Cup. So what better opportunity for the young man, Shapovalov, to shine and to really grind and dig deep. However, with that said, we know that Djokovic is going to destroy him, or at least I would expect that. But is it not a good storyline match to start 2020, inaugural tournament, an aspiring young talent with more sense at this point than the likes of Medvedev, Tsitsipas, and Zverev, right? Have you seen... who are we talking about here?
Kyrgios.
Not Kyrgios. Who are we just talking about? The match tonight. Shapovalov. Jeez.
Oh, gosh.
Even you lost train of thought.
Okay, well, because you kind of stutter and mumble on and mumble and mumble.
It's a good match. Okay?
Right.
It's a good match. Do I think it'll be close? Not necessarily.
2-2.
But Shapovalov's got more court conduct than the other 3 buffoons in front of him.
Thank God. Another good match, Felix Auger-Aliassime against Lajovic. Should be a good match. Felix hasn't had a good year so far.
Lajovic and Felix have played before. Or Laszlo Djiri, I know.
No, that's Laszlo Djiri, who could not play in the ATP Cup because his ranking wasn't high enough.
I like Laszlo Djiri. Let's go, Serbia. Let's go. All right, is that everything?
That's it.
All right, that's all we got, guys. See you tomorrow. Well, maybe I have physical therapy and like a lot of other stuff. At some point, we'll sneak in something, though. Adios, take care. If you are interested in our tennis racket giveaway, which is a Yonex G-Core 97 Dual G, freshly strung with Y-Tech strings, or 5K tennis shirts, look out for the video on a separate playlist, prize giveaways for Australian Open 2020, and all the rules for the fantasy team selections and the tennis racket giveaway are there. Please subscribe. Thanks for watching, and take care. See you later. Adios.
Adios.